Like I said, this is much more content than just a book, but it's more fun than a course. First, you get the ebook, which took me an average of 4 hours and 12 minutes every single day for 9 months straight to finish putting it together. I kept a timer on my desk. That's how I know exactly how long it took. But really, I'd started writing 5 years before, and I kept adding chapters and topics to it throughout my career so that when I retired, I could publish it and give the most complete toolkit to younger me with everything he would need to know about cycling and training. This way, you get all the information from every coach I ever worked with and all the riders I ever learned from condensed into a single ebook. Now, I like audiobooks, one, so I can listen while I'm out riding or driving, but also because if I really want to learn something, I read and listen at the same time, so the content is stored in multiple parts of your brain and I remember more. So in this bundle, you're going to get the ebook plus the audiobook version, so you can choose to read or listen, or read and listen at the same time, like what I do for my favorite books. I put everything I know into this, but why would you want to just hear from me? So you also get podcasts with some of the best riders in the world, so you get their advice and crazy stories as well. So in the audiobook, there are 6 1-hour-long podcasts inserted between chapters with Sepp Kuss, Allison Jackson, Jan Maas, Mitch Docker, Swain Tuft, and Dan Bigham. So you get an hour from each of them with all their best advice and information and crazy stories as well. So you're going to get the ebook, which is essentially my life's work and all the information I could give you. The audiobook version, 6 exclusive podcasts, each an hour long that you can't get anywhere else, added throughout the audiobook with some of the best cyclists in the world. But there's more. The video series, what's that? Imagine the book turned into a Netflix series with more photos, videos, screen recordings, and additional links and resources if you really want to get into the details or just see some fun videos and photos from some of the stories in the book. The video series has an additional 4 hours worth of content over the audiobook, and in total is 20 1-hour-long episodes. Some people like to read books, some people like audiobooks, and some people want to watch videos. So you can choose which format you like the best. So you get the ebook, the audiobook, 6 1-hour-long podcasts with some of the best riders in the world, and the video series, and there's still more. So this was the part I was the most nervous about including. I only added it at the very end and was right on the edge of not including them because it's very personal, was never supposed to be made public. The video journals. When I first came to Europe back in 2019, I started making video journals where every 3 to 6 months I recorded a video just as a journal about what I was going through at the time. And they were just supposed to be a time capsule so I could look back on my career when I was 80 years old about this time when I used to be a professional athlete. I never told anyone about them. They were always just supposed to be for me. Nobody knew about them until this book came out. I included them and they're scattered throughout the audiobook and the video series, just like the podcast. But it's cool to be telling stories from the past, but actually get to go back in time and see those and hear those stories from all the little videos. Some of those journals are pretty hard to watch because they're brutal and you see just how hard it really is. And like I said, they were never meant to be seen by anybody else. But if I was going through the hard times of chasing this dream, I'd want to see what it's like for those who came before me. And those video journals are as real as it gets. I'm not proud of some of the things I say in those videos. And look, there's a few where I'm in my underwear covered in blood and bandaging myself up alone on the other side of the world in a dark, lonely apartment. But that's the reality of what it's like to try to chase this dream. And those are the low moments. And some of them are really hard to watch. So in this big bundle / toolkit, you get the ebook, the audiobook, more than 6 hours of exclusive podcasts with some of the best riders in the world. So you get their advice and crazy stories as well. The video series where you get even more content and can see photos, videos, and make it more fun and in-depth detail into the training science. And all those video journals I kept throughout my career. If you finish this book and can say you would have rather spent that money on energy gels, equipment, or even coffee on your rides, you get your money back and you can keep the book as long as you ask for your money back within 3 months after you purchase it. And that's just a payment processing thing I can't get around. I'm sorry, that's the longest it'll let me do it. So I hope 3 months is long. It really is risk-free to try. And you can't make such a crazy guarantee like that everyone could just take advantage of unless you're that certain what's in this book is that good. I'm not asking you to decide to buy this book today. I'm asking you to make a fully informed decision. That is all. You can't make a fully informed decision yet because you don't know what's in the book. You don't buy a house without first looking inside. The only way you can make a fully informed decision is from finishing the book. If you're the type of person who wants to work their butt off and wants to learn from the very best riders and coaches in the world, if you're coachable and willing to do the work, there's only 3 options that can happen. 1, you buy this bundle and the stories and life lessons and information are life-changing. 2, you buy this bundle, you learn a lot, get super inspired, but decide you don't like the sound of my voice in the audiobook, or English really isn't your thing anymore. So you ask for your money back. Then you got everything and you can keep everything for free. 3, you do nothing and don't try to learn. There's absolutely no risk in trying and learning. It can only be awesome or free. And if you don't even try, nothing changes. I'll give you one last little story because, irrelevant from my book, this is some of the best life advice I can give you. For 6 years, I was so broke, I didn't even have a phone plan. I couldn't even afford a phone plan for 6 years because in my mind, that money could be better spent on my dream, and that money should be better spent on trying to make it as a pro cyclist. I was literally so tight on money, I did not have a working phone for 6 years. Even when money was that tight, I've had a life rule that if I ever think about a book and I might learn something useful from it, I buy it right away and I don't think twice about it. Books are the only thing I've said I would always buy without thinking twice, no matter what. And that life rule has been one of the best guiding principles I have, and it's paid for itself many times over. Don't take my word for it. Read some of the reviews on the website, and based on all those reviews, would it be unreasonable to assume you might also get a ton of value from this book?